Hello friends and welcome. Over the last few months, I've tried quite a few clean beauty products and have been both pleasantly surprised and occasionally disappointed. Today, I thought it would be fun to do a full face of clean beauty makeup, except for eyeshadow primer and lip liner, which I don't have, to showcase many products I love and also try a few new ones. I'm also going to do something I haven't tried with some of these products, combining a few of them. And that's where things can get a bit iffy and why I mentioned the possibility of a train wreck in the title of this video. It's always just a toss of the dice as to whether products will work well together, so I really don't have a clue what the outcome of some of these experiments will be today. We'll get started in just a few minutes, but before we do, I want to say a big thank you to those of you who are back with me today, and also welcome those of you who might be checking out this channel for the very first time. My name is Elise, and as a professional working makeup artist, I specialize in helping those of us over 50 discover the techniques and products that will help us look in the mirror and say, wow, I look great. And since the makeup and techniques we used in our 20s just don't cut it for us anymore, we need to integrate some new techniques and products into our makeup routine. So if the mission of this channel sounds like something that resonates with you, I do hope you'll subscribe before you leave today. Okay, let's dive into creating almost a full face of makeup using 7 different clean beauty products and combining a few of them along the way. I did do my brows before filming today, and I used a new, at least new to me, clean beauty product for my brows, RMS Beauty's Back to Brow Powder in Dark. It comes in 3 different shades, light, medium, and dark. Now, normally I'd use medium, but I heard the founder of this company, Rosemary Swift, talking about this product, and she mentioned that the medium color has some red in it, which I knew would not work at all for my very ashy colored brows. Since the dark is a little too dark, I did end up combining the lighter color of my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder in medium with the RMS dark shade, which ended up giving me a color that worked. But the brush that came with this RMS product is what I really love. It's a brow brush that's shaped very differently than the angled brow brushes that we're all used to seeing. As you saw, the RMS brush is wider and denser, which sweeps brow powder straight through the brow without the need for precision, which means we can do our brows more quickly. And I imagine we're all for that. Now, I still like to use an angled brow brush to define the top and bottom of each brow, but using the RMS brush in tandem with the angled brow brush really speeds up the application of our brow makeup. As I mentioned earlier, the only 2 clean beauty products I don't have for the look I'm creating today are eye primer and lip liner. So for my eye primer, I use Sigma's eyeshadow base in the shade Ignite. So now we're ready to move on to eyeshadow. Ilia Beauty makes 2 beautiful powder eyeshadow palettes. One is called Warm Nude that has 6 neutral light to dark shades, and it has 3 mattes, 2 metallics, and 1 satin shade. Ilia also makes a 6-pan Cool Nude palette with 4 mattes, 1 metallic, and 1 shimmer. I frankly love combining warm and cool shades because I think that combination gives our eyes more interest and dimension. So I'm going to go ahead and try out a few of these colors. I'm going to start with this color from the Warm Nude palette. And I'm holding my brush at the very end because I just want a very light application. I'm using my Sigma E25 brush, which I have found to be the very best brush for application in the crease area. I just love this brush. Then I'm going to take what's left over on the brush and just go up toward my brows. Then I'm going to take this medium warm tone and apply that in the outer part of the crease and outer part of the lid. I'm really just going to stamp it in. And now, because I have hooded eyes, I'm going to look straight ahead and just make sure that I can see that eyeshadow color in my crease area. Now I'm going into the Cool Nudes palette, and I'm going to use this color to darken up the outer V and the outer lid. And by the way, I'm using the same brush, but I'm wiping it off in between with this Sigma pad, which is specifically designed to remove powder brush color and cream brush color before moving on to another color. I think it's really hard to see, but there are indentations throughout this pad in different sizes. And I think I'm going to go down to this even deeper color. So these colors aren't as highly pigmented as a lot of other colors, which, depending on what you prefer, can be a good thing, because that means that they don't build up as quickly and get as dark as quickly. And for many of us, that is a good thing. Some of us prefer to use more pigmented colors. But if you like a softer look, this kind of shadow that isn't quite as pigmented can be helpful. And now for some needed blending. Probably the most important thing in eyeshadow application is actually the blending. So you can see how much softer the color looks on this eye after blending compared to this eye. Because we want the eyeshadow to not look harsh at all. We want a really nice soft look. Now I'm going to take a totally clean brush and I'm going to go back over everything. Again, this just softens the look even further. I think I lost a little of the warmth, so I'm just going to carry a little bit of that through here. And then I'm going to take care of getting any fallout. I think you can see how much fallout came off. And I'm just taking it in a straight line up toward my temple and the end of my brow. Now here's where some experimenting with eye products comes in. I also have these 6 liquid eyeshadows from Kosas called the 10-Second Eye. These glide on like gel watercolor and are infused with skincare ingredients that moisturize, smooth, and brighten the eyelid area. They're all warm pearlized colors. One is called Electric and is a warm iridescent pearl. Simmer is a neutral beige champagne. Blaze is a neutral bronze. Heat, a rose gold. Smolder is a warm copper. And Fiery is a warm spicy brown. Now these liquid eyeshadows certainly can look beautiful as one and done eyeshadows by just sweeping one color across the lids, as you see in this picture. Or they can be combined with powder shadows, as I'm going to do today. And I'm going to take the lightest color, Electric, and sweep it across both of my lids. The directions on the Kosas website for the application of this product are a little different than I would have assumed. Instead of swiping and then rubbing in or pressing in the product right away, the directions indicate that after first swiping it on, it's necessary to wait 5 to 10 seconds before tapping it in. And it should be tapped in rather than rubbed in. So this is the color I'll be using. So I'm going to swipe it on my lids. And then I'm going to wait 5 to 10 seconds. And then I'm just going to tap it in. Now I'm only going to do it on one side so we can compare. And I also want to share these other gorgeous colors with you. So let's take a close-up look at each eye and then let me know which one you prefer. So do you prefer the all-powder eyeshadow side, or do you like the look of the Kosas liquid shadow applied over the lid on the other eye? Before I apply my eyeliner, curl my lashes, and apply mascara off camera, I just want to mention that it's always really helpful to check the directions for product application on the company's website, because what we assume might be the best way to apply the product may not be the best way, as we just learned with the Kosas liquid eyeshadows. And how we apply a product can sometimes really make a difference in how it looks on our face. Because the founder of RMS Beauty is a makeup artist, there are some especially in-depth and really helpful application tips on the RMS website. Mascara and liner on. Now for my face primer, I'm using Tarte's The Liquid Silk Canvas. There's a thin layer of silk in this product which helps diminish the look of pores and imperfections. Just going to dot it on first and then spread it over my face. This does have a slight fragrance to it, but I actually really love it. And it goes on like silk too. It really feels wonderful. It almost feels like a face cream moisturizer. And my face feels incredibly smooth after applying it. Next, I'm going to do a couple of different experiments with foundation. I absolutely love the new Kosas Revealer foundation because of all the skincare ingredients that are built into it. I also love the good medium coverage it provides and the natural skin-like finish that it creates. But the shade I have, Light Cool 150, is a little too light for me. So at some point, I want to purchase this foundation in Light Cool 180, which is a little bit darker, and then combine the two colors to get my perfect shade. But today, what I'm going to do is mix in a little of my Ilia Serum Foundation in the shade SF5 Texel with my Kosas foundation. Since the Ilia foundation is a little bit darker than my Kosas foundation, hopefully I'll get a pretty good match. Also, since these foundations create a natural finish, and I'd like to just have a little bit of glow today, I'm going to add a small amount of the Tarte Sea Glotion Skin Perfector Primer to the foundation on one side of my face. And here's what that Tarte primer looks like. And I'm going to add a drop of the really nice Saie Glowy Super Gel in Star Glow to the foundation I'll be applying on the other side of my face. This is the Tarte product, and this is the Saie product. And by the way, I hope I am pronouncing that name correctly. It's S-A-I-E. And here's what the Saie highlighter looks like. This may not work well at all, but let's give it a go. I'm shaking the foundations first. So here are all the mixtures I'm going to be applying. The Ilia and the Kosas foundation mixed together, along with a different brightener to use on each side of my face. So I have to remember, this is the side with the Kosas and Ilia foundation and the Saie brightener. I definitely am seeing some glow with this. And now I'm mixing together the Kosas and the Ilia along with the Tarte Glotion. I don't really know how much of a difference we're going to see between these two. This will be interesting. As I said, I've never tried this before, so this is truly an experiment. All right, let's take a closer look and see what we think. This is the side I'm going to show you first, which has the Saie highlighter mixed in with the Ilia and Kosas foundations. And this is the side that has the Ilia and Kosas foundations mixed in with the Tarte Glotion. And by the way, while we're at it, let's take a look at the eyes now that I've added eyeliner and mascara. This is the eye that has the Kosas liquid eyeshadow added, and this eye just the powder. Next, I definitely need to color correct and add some concealer under my eyes and add a touch of eyeshadow under my eyes as well. For concealer, I'm trying the Stretch Concealer from Glossier for the very first time. Glossier is not deemed a clean beauty brand per se, but a number of their individual products can fall under the clean beauty umbrella. For concealer, I have shade G10, which is a light medium, and G11, which is a light neutral. These concealers have a slight brightening effect, and they're also known for moving with the skin, which prevents caking. This stretch movement occurs because one of the ingredients is elastic micro wax, which moves with the skin. I'm going to apply the G11 under my eyes and then set it with a Kosas Cloud Set powder in the shade Breezy, which is a sheer light color. The Kosas powder is a talc-free baked setting and smoothing vegan powder, which also comes in 9 other shades. This is my lightest Glossier concealer. It's extremely creamy, and I'm just going to dab it on. And then I'm going to tap it in with this really interesting brush from Sigma, which is shaped so it fits beautifully under the eye area. This is a Sigma 4D HD Precision brush. I think you can see what a difference this makes between these two eyes. I really like the feel of this concealer. It is so soft. And now I'm going to set it with the Kosas powder. This is what the shade Breezy looks like. I'm just going to use this small brush to tap it over the concealer. Then I'm tapping this slightly darker shade, G10, over the areas where I need some additional coverage. It feels very lightweight, and yet it does an excellent job of covering. This may become my new favorite concealer. And then I'm going to take some of the Ilia eyeshadow and apply it along the bottom 1/3 outer area of my eye. For this, I'm using the Sigma E30 brush, which has become another one of my favorites. Just along the outer third and then up. Then I'm taking just a little bit of the darkest shade, putting it on the very edge and blending it in. Just gives a little bit more definition to the eyes. And because it's shadow, it's very soft. And then a little bit of mascara on those bottom lashes. I know there are differing thoughts on whether to use mascara on bottom lashes. I think it really opens up the eye area and makes the eyes look bigger. Then I'm going to take a little bit of the Kosas powder and just powder my T-zone. Now that I've evened out my skin tone with the foundation, I'm going to add a little more interest and a little more dimension by applying a cream bronzer. I'll be using RMS Beauty's Buriti Bronzer. And this is what that bronzer looks like. Ingredients in this bronzer include Buriti oil, which provides antioxidant protection, shea butter, and cocoa butter. There is definitely a slight reddish tint to this bronzer, so if that's not a tone that works for you, this bronzer may not be a good choice for you. This bronzer also works really well on the eyes and also on the lips if you're looking for a more sun-kissed look. I'm going to do a little contouring with it using my Huda Beauty Tantour brush. The small end of this brush is small enough to fit into this compact. And then I'm going to use it to just stamp it on. And then buff it in. And a little bit under the chin area and the jawline, on the forehead. As you can see, this blends in really easily. Not dramatic, I'm looking for a daytime look, but it just adds a little bit more definition. For my blush, I'm going to combine a beautiful soft pink called Demure from RMS Beauty with this blush color from Merit called Cheeky. Here is Demure on top and Cheeky is underneath it, and I'm going to combine both of these. This combination makes it sort of a medium tone, which I like. And these blend so easily, you can just use your finger. And then along the outer edge, I use a finger that I do not have any blush on, just so I can blend it in evenly. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some highlighter. I'm going to use the Merit Kava highlighter on one side of my face, and I'm going to use the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer in Magic on the other side of my face. Here's Kava, and by the way, this also comes in a beautiful rose gold called Bounce. So I'm just putting it on my finger because the warmth of my finger really makes it glide on more easily. And this is the shade Magic from RMS. This happens to be the more intense luminizer of all the colors that she makes, and she does make 4 other colors. And I think you can see this is more intense as I'm putting it on. But it is a beautiful color. It also comes in a peach tone and a sort of a lavender tone, which I'd really be interested in trying. So let's take a look at these 2 highlighters and see which one we think looks better. This is the RMS Beauty Magic highlighter, and this is the Merit Kava highlighter. So we are down to lipstick. I'm going to apply some concealer around the edge of my lips, then some lip liner, and then follow that with the Ilia lipstick. This lipstick from Ilia is True Red. And by the way, Ilia and Kosas make bullet lipsticks like this one. They also make balms and they also make lip oils. Then I'm using this lip oil from Kosas called Fruit Juice for my gloss. The makeup is now complete. I have to say that there were really some standout products that I used today. And I'd include among those standout products the RMS Eyebrow Brush, the Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas Primer, the Kosas Foundation, the Glossier Concealers, and the Merit Saie and RMS Highlighters. And though I didn't use it today, I also love Ilya's liquid highlighter in the shade Nova. And here's what that shade Nova looks like. I certainly like the rest of the products and will continue using them with the possible exception of the Tarte Glotion product. I really have to test that one out a little bit more to see how I feel about it. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe if you haven't already done so. And you'll find links to all the products that I used and mentioned today in the description box below. If you use these links to purchase a product, there's no additional cost to you, and it's a wonderful way to support this channel, which I greatly appreciate. I wish you in the coming week good health and happiness, and hope you have an absolutely fabulous rest of your day. Take care.